Hi everybody, what's going on? This is Jen coming at you on my downtime. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Well, I think I'm actually having at least a good day because I did not have a heart attack like I said I would on the last video that I posted, wondering about the SOPA bill. Okay, I'm reading right now. I'm actually going over search results, so hang in there with me. Apparently, it did not pass because I don't see any censorship going on at all, period. Now this is just from my experience of being on the internet. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you get my drift. I've been on this basically for about 8 hours today, literally, because I was not only doing work, but I was also socializing with colleagues and also my friends. And usually when you socialize, you actually go back and forth with banter or maybe share a real opinion that you happen to have that may otherwise be censored. And nothing has been censored, thank goodness. I have noticed that. Today is January the 25th, 2012, or 2012, however you want to say that, and I have not noticed anything regarding any kind of, censorship going on right now. However, like I said, I have been doing searches. Now, you know, normally you get really good answers on Yahoo Answers because you get people, Yahoo users, that will literally go ahead and research everything, give you the best answer possible, and of course, you know, the user votes what the best answer is, which is kind of cool in a way, almost a little bit biased. So you have to wonder exactly what research the best answer had done in order to acquire being the best answer. So I'm just going to leave you that link in the description of this video, as well as, I'm hearing noise, as well as an article that had been written by the Huffington Post, dated on January the 20th, 2012. And, of course, that was before yesterday when I shot my initial vlog about this topic. And, of course, I had to end the video with some jokes that I had come up with. If you didn't catch that video, please, it's the video before this one. Go right for it. You might actually enjoy the jokes. But I wanted to leave these two links for you, if at all possible, in the description of this video. To let you guys see what I'm seeing, you know, what I'm comparing at the moment. I'm only comparing two things right now, but after I shoot, after I'm done shooting this video, I'm tired, rest assured I'm going to be doing a lot more research. I've already gotten to know exactly what SOPA and PIPA are, how directly they affect not only the internet, but also the internet user, and also budding entrepreneurs who are actually just trying to create a business and make a difference in the economy. Okay, let's just put it that way. Since 2008, I've been self-employed. I've been on the internet doing my best, and why haven't I gotten anywhere? Well, it's pretty simple. Sometimes you don't always make the right connections, but aside from that, why have I not gotten anywhere? Because the big corporations, the big record labels, the big this, the big that, are so busy trying to take your tiny butt down that you don't even get half a chance to get a leg up. And yes, it's very hard, especially if you're doing a hell of a lot more than just vlogging. If you're actually on different websites, uploading content, of course in the means of grassroots media. Maybe you're a journalist and you're trying to write about something on your vlog, and somehow Copyscape.com had found some sort of plagiarism on your blog post. Well, not everybody who blogs had gone to college and understands plagiarism and how to avoid plagiarism. So, I mean, of course, it is a lack of education that could, you know, be a fault as far as, you know, budding industries and budding entrepreneurs and just people go. It is very difficult, you know, to navigate if you don't know what you're doing, and not everybody can afford an education right now. Never mind afford to take out loans to pay back later in order to acquire the necessary education just to sideswipe that. My gosh. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just so high-paced, which is a good thing, because it makes it ultra-competitive, but it makes it ultra-competitive for the little guy. And of course, who benefits? Who walks away with the bucks? The major corporations and the lobbyists. And this is exactly why people are protesting against the SOPA Act. Anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and cue in my mug of the day. And of course I had to bring in the most colorful one because, come on, we should try to feel happy even though we're going through a bunch of crap. I'm telling you. Yeah. Anywho. Oh yeah. Nothing like a cup of coffee at 12:47 in the morning. Oh yeah. But anyway, yes, I'm juiced up. I'd actually gotten done listening to the presidential speech yesterday, technically, this evening, and there are certain things that President Obama had said that do hint toward more like support of creating jobs. Creating jobs, yes, which is actually good for the people that really do want to work the 9 to 5. More support for like the large corporations that could just hand out jobs or take them as if it's just, you know, some sort of casual act. But when he actually touched on small businesses and budding entrepreneurs, you know, people that have a passion that really want to, you know, build something from the ground up, a bootstrap kind of business, he didn't really take a lot of time to address us. You know, he did say that financial institutions should give us more or less a break, excuse me, when it comes to borrowing money from banks, but that's about as far as that goes. We're not trying to, not all of us are trying to borrow money from financial institutions, as we do see that we are in a huge financial deficit as a country, as an entire world. So to try to borrow from financial institutions at this point would be asinine, and it would be definitely a wrong move. Not a wrong business move, not a wrong business decision, because it could be paid back given that your ROI is predictable. Okay? Given that your ROI is predictable. Let me repeat that. That doesn't always happen. Our ROIs are not always predictable. We can't always pay back what is lent to us. We just work hard enough to earn enough to pay our bills, to keep ourselves clothed, to feed our families. And that's about freaking it. We are not trying to borrow money from people, okay? That is not the answer. That is not the answer. And I have to say, I am an avid supporter of President Barack Obama. However, I do have to say that that is a concern of mine as a small business owner, as a limited liability company filed as a Schedule C, self-employed with the IRS. Okay, I would be scheduled otherwise if I could afford employees, but I can't. You understand? And I am not trying to put us further in a financial deficit in order to keep my business running, to try to, and also to try to create jobs that are non-existent if I have to reseed them or pull them back or downsize them in order to pay back debt, just because I did not meet the ROI. You understand what I mean? Sometimes when you measure risks, you have to see the downfall as well as the upside. Try to plan it as much as possible. That's just basic business sense. And I'm sorry, but nowadays with the way that the economy is going, business-to-business relations can go well or they can go under. I mean, people are just very touchy nowadays. So it's hard to keep that going on that end as far as that goes. As far as business to customer relations goes, well, that's almost non-existent. I mean, yes, there is a climb in employment opportunities. Now, unemployment rates have been knocked down to 8.5%, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's a good thing. But how much are these employees getting paid? I mean, people are still either unemployed or underemployed. We do have to consider the word underemployed if we're in business and we're trying to operate a business that is focused on a business-to-customer relationship. Obama, come on. Seriously, help me, man. I don't want you to bail me out. Believe me, I don't. And that is exactly what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, before I was saying there is no way that I'm going to try to reach into the pockets of financial institutions, putting them and our country further in debt, just for the betterment of, you know, trying to get myself up higher. What I need is the grassroots movement of alternative media without major corporations stepping in and controlling it. Please, if you have a heart and you care at all about your citizens, especially the Democrats who vote for you, who support you, your constituents, me, hi, you might want to back off on the SOPA bill. I mean, honestly, I do understand that there are issues with piracy, and I am totally against piracy in the act of that occurring. However, I do also have a problem with my resources being limited. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. That is all I had to say. Aside from that, in the SOPA bill, I did want to, how do I put it? I am so tired. I wanted to thank Obama for doing the job that you have been doing for as long as you have, for these past 3 years and some change. You did bring the unemployment rate down, and thank goodness for that. Okay, that's a good thing. I'm very happy to see that happening, because there are families that are struggling out there just to get food on the table, and most of them do not have business sense. That takes education, and education usually takes time to acquire. It cannot happen in just a moment. Like I was saying before, things are just happening so extremely fast. I mean, yes, you should be educated, but the pressure is just so much. As far as, you know, learning everything goes, it's either, like, you think to yourself when, here's a good example, you think to yourself when you are taking about, say, 3 classes at the same time, or even more than that. You're running around like a chicken with no head. You're just trying to study and cram just to pass them. Instead of studying and cramming for one class and passing that class before going on to the next one, thoroughly knowing everything you need to know, thoroughly being educated. We are forced as students in the educational system to just skim over our educational material that we are given very quickly. We don't memorize everything, but we just barely pass, and that's it. That's all we need, is just that piece of paper, and that's okay. Well, it doesn't work that way. You know, People do need to be educated and really should make an effort to become educated. However, we should not take on more than what we can handle in order to get things done. Okay? And that's all I gotta say about that subject. I can speak from personal experience because I was a college student for a while, and I know exactly how that is. Yeah, and the whole thing, that also kind of coincides with the whole thing about borrowing money. Not a big fan of it, seriously. And yeah, I know I'm going all layman's because I'm freaking tired as hell, but, you know, after your speech I decided to do a bit more research and do a follow-up video from the last video regarding the SOPA bill and talking about it not being passed. It would be great if it wasn't passed because, I mean, yes, it is under the guise that it would protect media producers, artists, from being scammed by their customers, so to speak. You know, it would protect them from their work being pirated. But if if you look at what you say and what is happening here, let me just pause and do that. Let me just pause and do that right there. Any musician should know about their field. They should educate themselves about their field, especially when it's occurring over the internet and over digital media. They need to stay educated about that. And if they were educated about it, they would not be getting ripped off. There are plenty of ways, and believe me, I've found plenty of ways, that you can avoid having people pirate your work. Believe me, I found them. I mean, back in 2009, I purchased a MIDI keyboard because I thought about getting back into music. And I thought, okay, before I get back in music, let me just go ahead and do my research, educate myself on not only how to distribute and market it, but also how to avoid piracy over the internet and get to know that. I did. Why can't they? I mean, you know, I'm just saying, since education is such a big deal and there really are no excuses, there really is no excuse for an artist to be pirated from. Do not pass the SOPA bill. Thank you. I appreciate it. Because passing the SOPA bill is doing a hell of a lot more than protecting the uneducated. It's also lessening the chances of those of us who are involved in digital media, alternative media, of us growing. And that is really going to kill a lot of industries that we are in the midst of building. That will not help. I appreciate you all for listening to me. That's it. I think I've had enough of talking about this on video. Only because I'm tired and I could just, like, see myself getting all tongue-tied and stuff. I'm out for tonight. I don't know when I'm going to be vlogging next, but I love you all. And I appreciate every single one of you who watched this video. Take care of yourselves.